So today I'm discussing from a book. This is a question answer book of BEd comprising uh, too many questions from education, psychology, philosophy, and teaching methods, school management, etc. So this is the first part, the introduction part, all about education. The question one from it is. Uh, so the questions all are MCQs. Okay, the first questions here is what is the meaning of education? Education is derived from the Latin word. Education is derived from the Latin word. Obviously, the answer here is educere. EDEUCERE. Educere. Where educere means to draw out. To draw out. Educere means to draw out. Okay. Next question. Education is the creation of a sound mind in a sound body is the saying of Plato, Comenius, Aristotle, and Dewey. So the answer is here 3. Aristotle. That is C. Education is the creation of a sound mind in a sound body by Aristotle. The next question here, the best definition of education is that. The best definition of education is that preparation for life, getting knowledge, learning, growth resulting from experiences. Yes, best definition of education is uh, that it is growth resulting from experiences. So what about the next question? The next question 5. Education is, according to John Dewey, is preparation for life, getting knowledge, learning to do by doing, schooling. Obviously, this is learning to do by doing. Now, question number 6. Which of the following is not the characteristics of education? Lifelong activity, factual absorption, formal and informal activities, experiences of life. এটা তো দরকারি is the characteristic of education. Obviously এটা formal informal activity এগুলো দরকার, factual lifelong activity দরকার. Factual absorption, I think it is not the characteristics of education. Factual absorption. So what the term actually means, factual absorption? It is a factual absorption is a term that can have different meanings depending on the context. In education or learning, actually it is the process of deeply understanding and retaining factual information. This involves more than just memorizing. It involves actively processing information, connecting it to existing knowledge and applying it in different situations. But in physiology, in psychology or philosophy, it might describe a state of complete immersion in a particular subject or activity where one becomes so absorbed that they lose awareness of their surroundings. This is often associated with a sense of flow or enjoyment. In a more general sense, it could simply mean that process of taking in and understanding information regardless of the context. Okay, so this is all. So the next question here, question number 7, the basic source of educational objectives is source of educational objectives is human experience. Schools, educational, educational psychology are a professional organization. Basic source of education, educational source, educational objectives, the basic source, human experience, schools, educational psychology. So I think it is human experience. Obviously, the answer is human experience. So there is a breakdown why. Educational objectives are rooted in the understanding of human needs, desires, and challenges as they face. These needs and desires are shaped by human experience, which is the foundation for educational goals. And well, schools are institutions where education takes place. They are not the fundamental source of educational objectives. Schools implement and facilitate on learning based on establishment of objectives. Okay, and educational psychology. Educational psychology is a field that studies how people learn. It provides valuable insight and theories about effective teaching and learning strategies, but it doesn't really determine the basic source of educational art objectives. So, professional organization in education may play a role in setting standards and guidelines, but they are not the primary source of educational objectives. These objectives are ultimately derived from the needs and experiences of individuals. So, therefore, I think human experience serves as the fundamental basis of educational objectives, guiding the development of curricula, teaching methods, and you see assessment practices. All these objectives are guided uh, by educational objectives and are fulfilled by, and therefore human experience serves this uh, all the fundamental basis for educational objectives. Now, what are educational objectives? Educational objectives are specific measurable goals that outline the what students should know, understand, or be able to do after completing a particular course or lesson. They serve as a roadmap for both teachers and students, or guiding the learning process and ensuring that educational outcomes are aligned with desired goals. So, educational objectives are typically written using verbs like analyze, evaluate, create, apply, understand, and remember. This helps to clarify the expected level of learning and achievement. Here's an example of some educational objectives for students. Objective, for example, objective one: students will be able to analyze the cause and effects of the French Revolution. This objective specifies that students should be able to break down the complex events of the French Revolution into its component parts and understand the relationship between them. So, educational objectives can be categorized in three different domains: cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain. So, what are the cognitive domain? This domain focuses on intellectual skills such as knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Affective domain, the domain focuses on emotional and attitudinal aspects of learning such as interest, values, and attitudes. Whereas the psychomotor domain, this domain focuses on physical skills and coordinations such as motor skills, manipulative skills, and physical abilities. So, by setting the clear and measurable educational objective, teachers can ensure that their instruction is effective and that the students are achieving the desired learning outcomes. Okay, thus, your answer is human experience, the basic source of educational objectives. Human experience. According to Crow and Crow, the purpose of formal education is to make students more intelligent. Next, to make students active and constructive members of society. Yes, I think it is. Form definite opinions in the mind of students. No. Create good name for the nation. No. So the option is make students active and constructive members of society. Question 9 here. Now question 9 here. We see determine the aim of education is the responsibility of obviously society. Yes, not teachers, not students. Determining the aim of education is the responsibility of society. The real goal of education should be, yes, acquiring skills, acquiring habits and knowledge, training to make livings, securing certificate. No, acquiring skills, habits, and knowledge. So this is all for today. Discussing the lesson 1 from the concept of education.